You know what that is? That's the sound of unpasteurized right there.
Sugar.
We're right back here in the barn. What are we calling this? This has
is
barn vibes, even though it's a garage.
Well, I'm a real barn type of guy.
You're a barner.
I'm a barner, dude.
You're a barner for sure.
Yeah, it's the German in me. Make you just feel like you're somewhere you're not.
Yeah, you should belong in a barn.
I do belong in a barn.
You belong in a barn.
You belong in a barn.
Especially with that shit steak you cooked.
Oh, don't talk shit about my fucking steak. I was so disappointed. I really tried. I really fucking tried. That's why I hate propane.
It's okay. I did eat the whole thing. This is Unpasteurized with Taylor Zaki, Luke Schneider.
Luke Schneider, guys. We're back.
Yeah.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Lucas. And this is, I'm sitting here with Mr. French Penis himself in the barn.
I'm sitting with a guy who means smiley funny. I think. How do you translate that? That's smiley comedy is
that. There you go. There it is. It's a massive media conglomerate.
You're not smiley funny, but would that mean like a smile and a funny?
Smiley comedy. Smiley was a nickname I had for a while.
I know that, and I like see. I'm saying like how mine, translates or it doesn't. I don't know if it translates at all, but that's what I call it. The French dick, daddy.
Yeah. Fake French penis,
Fake
perhaps.
French penis.
That's how a guy pretending to be French would talk about.
The schlong.
The schlong.
Yeah.
You want to suck on the schlong?
The schlong is into the world. Yeah.
Something like that.
Fuck.
There we are. We're grooving.
Here we go. Cheers to the cheers.
We're going to have to cheers to that.
Oh, daddy.
And we're sitting here drinking. Oh, yeah.
The one and only.
The one thing that we will proudly plug on this
Shouts
podcast.
out to every time.
Shouts out to Cheer Wine. Such good stuff.
A cherry cola experience.
A soft drink like none other. Real cane sugar. Cheer Wine.
Yeah,
1917. We've talked about Cheer Wine so much on this podcast.
When I found it there, like I said, we're into the old soda thing. It's like you've seen the fridge. We're in deep.
All the way, baby.
And here's the thing: a soda can cost $1.80 anyway. I'm gonna spend the extra money and get something with real sugar, natural flavorings, and some good product in it.
That's phosphates too. The phosphate sodas. That's a whole different thing.
That's almost a healthy soda.
There's a
that is almost a healthy soda.
There's an old fountain soda joint that's opening back up. They reopened the fountain part. In an old drugstore.
Oh, where they do like the syrup and they gotta stir it and shit.
Oh yeah, baby. We need to go before they shut down again.
Yeah, we do.
They go in spurts every few years where they go ups and downs.
Yeah, because that shit people
love it, but they just don't go.
I mean,
enough. And it's in a small town. I mean,
things only last for so long.
Things only last for so long in a small town.
Things only last for that's like what Tim Dillon was talking about. Everybody's hating on this Qatari plane. And, well, you know what? Like he said, America used to be, we need to look at this country like it's a fucking lavish hotel and things need to be lavish again, which we have spoken about. How fucking nice would it be to be able to go 200 miles per hour on a train and eat a ribeye fucking steak or prime rib dinner and maybe even meet a bitch at the bar cart? Like, come on. What are we doing? We should be able to have soda with real sugar in it instead of fucking corn gloop.
Yeah, I don't. It truly does not make sense.
This is what RFK's fighting for right here.
Yeah,
I mean literally, like this is that. There's your food problem right there. It cost a few more cents to make it better, and people won't pay it because they're too stupid.
Well, it's all about cutting costs.
Cutting cost and convenience.
It's all about that. Well, here's the biggest thing.
Oh.
Obviously, I can never remember what the bill is. Maybe you remember what it is, but it's basically that bill that states that corporations have the same rights as individual humans.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is completely wrong. That's absolutely incorrect.
I don't know if you got a lighter, or if you want even that.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, that's not good.
No. You shouldn't be able to treat a corporation as if it's its own entity. It isn't and here is the thing. It is an entity.
It's a business entity, but it's not. It should not have the same rights as an individual person.
Well, and that's the problem. They have they have the rights to act as if they're an individual, like an American individual. Yet you get to hide behind the name of this corporation. That's like LLCs who fail and go bankrupt. Well, that guy's going to just go start another business under a different LLC name, and he's still going to do shitty business and you're still going to have a shitty product. And they say that's the American way.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be aiming for that.
Well,
like
but no, everything's all about profit instead of quality. We don't care about luxury. We don't care about it actually being nice and working. We care about it giving the illusion of convenience and peace, even for a short amount of time. That's why these kids are so fat and on tablets, because it's all dopamine. It's just you know just as well as I do. Like even like now they make everything look like a casino. They put fucking, granite down and stuff. But like, you remember wood and brass rails and green leather and like the glass work. They would do like that art glass work in there with like deer jumping and ducks on it and shit.
It's one of the main reasons I still like churches, is because they still have that old elegance to them.
It's warm and luxurious. People when
There's nothing more elegant than stained glass. If you can afford to have stained glass, like custom stained glass pane put in like that, because I've spent a lot of time studying that shit up close.
Yeah,
like real good shit that they have in churches and stuff.
Oh yeah,
has a metal outline, like it's the whole thing to hold it all together.
Yep, it's framed by metal.
So
and then
fucking
it's
heavy,
put together by pieces.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy amount of work.
Well, and then a lot of churches, like for instance, my church, each stained glass, like part of the stained glass is like it's a journey to the cross. Like it's like each piece of fucking stained glass has numerous little art pieces that are a story of like the path of Jesus, like, and they all have different meanings, and like you can. So like they have the book, you can pull up the verses and like, no, this is and like some fucking whack. He guess where he was from?
Not America.
Not America. Just take a guess. Guess where this guy was from who did the stained glass in my church. Just take a guess.
Ukrainian?
He was German, you asshole.
Well.
He wasn't that Nazi.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't as Nazi as a Ukrainian. My God.
No, Germans used to be still are real industrious folks.
They're a quality folk. There's one of the reasons.
My grandma's got a cuckoo clock that she bought in Germany. I had it shipped back here. Yeah. And that is one of the craziest little instruments of handmade wood stuff that I've ever seen in my life.
I think Rolex might be in the Netherlands. I'm not that rich. I've never bought one.
Well, I mean, Rolex is different because that's made out of metal. You can make that be whatever shapes you want.
The Germans are great fabricators.
With wood,
metal.
you have to work. They are too.
I think engineering standards as a whole.
Oh, for sure. That cuckoo
masonry,
clock,
carpentry.
This cuckoo clock has got one of them, like a carousel that comes out and goes around. Yes, and it's got a wood chopper, an axe man.
Why don't women like shit like that anymore? Why can't we?
I don't know, dog.
God, Grandma used to love clock. Remember when they would put like real gold in a clock and it would sing you a song for the hour?
Yeah, my grandma's
like pre-electricity.
Grandma's got a big old grandfather clock. She's got cabinet clocks. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
We used to be a proper country.
We used to be a real country.
We used to be proper.
Why aren't people knocking on bathroom doors anymore? I don't get it. I tried doing this bit on stage. I can't do it. It doesn't translate to stage. But I mean, being out in the public and having to work on the roads, I've had to use a lot of public bathrooms.
Yeah,
as I'm sure you know. Nobody, when you go into a bathroom that is just a single person one.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knocks. I had to learn how to lock the door. Like I had to like remind myself until it became a habit, because people wouldn't knock. They would just try to barge in the door.
That's why there's locks on there.
Well, yeah, I know, but I was fucking raised, and I remember a time when everybody just knocked on those doors before they walked in.
Possibly, I will say this: when I have to use a public restroom, it's usually not in a time where I'm like, oh, I'm going to comfortably take my time to. If I'm using a public restroom, there's a hurry, is what I'm saying. So I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. I think people have failed as they don't know how to care about society. Like I was up in Yankton the other day, and swear to God, this chick's in one of those it's like a one-piece bodysuit, right? And it's definitely supposed to be an underlayer. It's black, but it's too small for her, so it's stretched out. It's already. The seam's already like halfway up her ass cheeks already, and then like this thing's like, so it's just like a see-through transparent thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she had with her these goofy dudes and another chick, just everything, and like they weren't not normal. Like there wasn't something wrong with them. but it didn't transition well, clearly, over into society. And then the fucking idiot kid, and he was a kid. He's probably like a older teenager, just an idiot.
Just an idiot.
He didn't flush the toilet, and he took his shit. Like, what a savage. And like I politely waited to go to this bathroom in this Casey's.
Dude,
you don't need ice cream, like, you fat fuck.
Here, I went into the men's bathroom at what the fuck, Penn Station. That's the Grand Central Station in New York.
Yeah.
That was one of the most horrifying incidents I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
It's in bathroom times. And that place used to be one of the most elegant, beautiful buildings in the country.
Used to be.
And now there's hot dog carts out in the walkway and big piles of shit with a pair of shorts on top of it. Like, somebody was about to shit their pants, couldn't make it into the stall, shit right in the middle of the bathroom floor, and then just gave up on their shorts. Like, the shorts were on top of the pile of shit. And that, if that wasn't bad enough, when I turned and looked in the stall, pile of shit right in front of the toilet. They were right there. And they shit right on the floor instead. And I walked out, and there was this pigeon that was just standing there, like 1,000-yard stare at the bathroom door. And I was like, "You fucking went in there and saw what I saw, didn't you, little pigeon?" Like, I know that feeling. Like, I seriously, me and my girlfriend at the time, an ex now, I walked back over to her, and I sat on the bench, and I was like, I just need to sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, like, compartmentalize and delete what I just saw in there. But clearly, the delete operation did not work, and that file's still floating around in the old noggin.
That's trauma.
Yeah, it horrified me. Dude. The one thing I noticed about New York, everywhere I went, smelled like piss. Everywhere. It didn't matter. I could be deep in neighborhoods, rich places, poor places. It smelled like piss every single street.
They love it.
I don't think they notice it.
They love it. It's like we don't smell cow shit.
I do. I still smell cow shit.
Every once in a while, especially when it's ripe.
Feedlots get me.
Feedlot cow shit's different than grass cow shit.
Well, okay, fair enough.
But I will say this. One time I was out in Colorado, and I came back and like landed, and I got out and was like, okay, it smelled kind of like Omaha. You kind of smelled like a river instead of mountainous.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But literally, as we were driving west out of town, I was like, oh, this whole state smells like cow shit. That's like, I was in Montana, and if you like leave Nebraska and come driving in, you will be like, this place just smells like cow shit, and it's fine.
Well, when I came back from New York, I was all about the smell here compared to there. If I'm being honest,
which
I think is just people. I think that's just people and cities, and I don't think cities should exist. I don't think that's good for people. I don't think that's.
Says the guy moving to a city.
I know. I don't like.
I think cities should exist. I just don't think that they do it properly.
I think there needs to be a farmer exchange program, just like there's like foreign exchange students. I think you send city
exchange.
Yes, I think you send city kids out to the farm, and then send farm kids into the city. Because one thing I've noticed as soon as I started being around all these city people,
let's just let the fucking Americans do it. Yeah, you're right.
Because the people in cities don't understand how farmers live, and farmers don't understand how city people live at all.
No,
so that's why they hate each other.
Conflation.
So if you were to do that exchange program, kids would grow up having a little bit more understanding. If a city kid understood that, a rancher's got to get up at 5 in the morning and bottle feed these calves because their mom rejected them, so maybe they actually don't hate these animals. Because they just see factory farming. They don't see they don't see the legit real thing. And see,
Lucas, the politics show that too. It's just like, okay,
well, yeah, I know, but it's us all divisive. I'm trying to bring us together.
Of course, it's divisive.
I'm trying to bring us together, brother.
People not live on the same fucking program.
We're trying to unpasteurize the whole culture. We're trying to get rid. We're trying to
love all the people. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, imagine if there was no government. Imagine if we didn't need a government because that's how good we live.
I wish.
Because of that, but until you have everybody behaving good, until you somehow get rid of.
I don't even think that. I think that you need a government. There has to be a destination in which you're going. For sure. Yeah. As far as a group of people. The problem with America is majority of the groups of people in this country, number one, we don't know where we're going. Like a lot of people in history, they told you where they were going or what they were trying to do, and like now we don't know where the fuck we're going at all. And like I said, so we have a whole, and like that's the problem with like I think these like college age kids and kids younger than that are like teenagers going to high school thinking that they have fucking any idea. Well, like they like here's the true fact about their opinions about the world, or like whether it's even mine, even ours, like even you and I, as we sit here, we're not service members. We are not going to go. We're not mercenaries. We're not going to go over there and do contract work for it. Maybe, but we're not. we're not going over there to do any contract work. We're not welding fucking Humvees together to ship to. Like we're not doing anything. And so like, guess what? Most people aren't, especially like a fucking young stupid fucking kid who's going to school. I mean,
right?
How smart are you? You got to keep going to get. You got to.
Yeah,
you know.
you've had the janitors had to undo your locker 3 times this year because you forgot your combination.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're talking. I don't know. As far, I'm gonna get sidetracked.
Yeah, but
when it comes to the world,
we do need a direction. We haven't had a direction since Vietnam because that was the first time that everybody realized.
We haven't had a direction. Well, they shot RFK in the fucking skull, and you know he said a lot of things that somebody, not just somebody, just other people in history have been.
Now I have been told
attacked for
that there are pictures that are not public, but they are in a book. And I'd have to get the name of the book again. But the problem with this book is if you request it through the library,
you're flagged.
You're flagged.
I'm already flagged.
Well, I mean, they're going to send people to ask you why you want the book. Like, it's one of those.
Oh, well, good.
But anyway, there's pictures showing the opposite angle of the JFK assassination, like pointing it out towards the overpass.
Yeah,
there is a van parked up there, and that was apparently the mob waiting. That if he missed out there, they were going to blast him out there. But anyway, there was about 15 different sets of people that all were trying to kill JFK that day, according to this book.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it was 15 sets. I think it. Here's the problem, and here we go. Here's what America does. This is why I'm glad that we have a Chicago and mob Italian-ass Pope. I really hope mob rule comes back to this country. No, for real. The communities are better when the mobs of the community get to run the community. That's what New York always was. I mean, that's what it always was. When the mob got to ran it, when the Irish,
Well, they always say Vegas was way better before. When the mobs ran Vegas.
Well, hey, guess who runs all the casinos now?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one time I went to Vegas, that was the one thing that upset me. I was like, this feels nothing.
And it's dirty. It's not clean.
Like,
it's not safe. It's
dirty. I was
dirty.
like, this feels not like where we were safe because I was with people that had lived there.
Well, yeah.
So I didn't end up. And I could clearly tell. Like, we got to the end of this one end of Fremont Street on one end, and the street keeps going, but it turns very bad. Very quick.
Yeah, very bad, very quickly.
And I was like, oh. And the lady I was with, she goes, oh, yeah, we don't need to go down there. And I was like, no, I didn't want to go. I can see that.
Yeah, I'll tell you
that
what.
I can see. I can feel that.
Yeah.
But even going through the casinos and stuff, it didn't look the way it used to. Like, even in documentaries or it feels amusement ridey. And I don't want that.
That's what they're making everything like.
That's
like when they build these new houses, it looks
I'm sick of amusement rides.
Yeah. I'm a fucking adult. We're like, what happened to?
Yeah, not everything needs to be cutesy.
Supper clubs, for instance.
I don't know.
The idea of a supper club, like you go to an establishment. Okay, think about this. There's a place, they charge you a door fee. It's for you and your lady, and then whoever else you're coming with. So maybe you can get a cheaper rate for a table, right? You do not get to pick the meal that they're serving.
Oh, you just eat whatever they cook up?
You're just if it's a prime rib and lobster tail, if it's a
that's cool.
If it's a sardine mousse on top of just you don't get a fucking pick. This is the meal. This is what we're serving. But the establishment is high quality enough that you trust their decision to just be guided. Like,
well,
it's like when you go over to dinner. When you go over to dinner at grandma's house. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like when you go over to dinner at grandma, this is what it is.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea.
Okay,
but I think the issue you're gonna run into nowadays is people with all their made up allergies.
Okay, don't fucking eat here. I don't want you in here. No, fuck you. Walk away. Walk away. If the bitch wants chicken strips, guess what? That's a telltale sign she's not fucking adult enough to be in this establishment. You should probably leave her. And you know what? Women are actually smart enough to adapt an older age set quicker than men are. So if some 19-year-old girl's going to come in there and eat prawns and shit with us, not with us, but with somebody.
You're sending me down business idea road.
No, this is business idea road.
Yeah,
you
put a stage out front. And
you put a stage.
You
put a stage. So guess what? During your supper, you have like a band that like while you're walking in,
like a light lot lizard set.
Not necessarily that. Dude, even maybe like soft German polka, like you get a horn band up, dude. Light mariachi, and then like some guy on the accordion.
What you try to do is you try to book the act to relate to the dinner. That way it's a whole experience.
Yeah, and so like when people are almost done eating, then you bring out your magician, your comedian, your hypnotist, the guy who can smoke cigarettes with his asshole. Like you just bring it out. And then here's the thing about the supper club. It's going to have two different spots, and like this is where you have to have the cooperation of men and women. You'd have to come have like I don't know how women like to socialize, but men like to socialize differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like if women could socialize in the same building as you, say men get to go down to the basement, women go up to the second floor, and like it's just like chicks, like it's wine, champagne, happiness up there, like for chicks.
It's a billiard room and a powder room.
And then
that's what it is.
Bingo.
Bingo.
You go, bingo. You got darts, axe throwing, fucking
it's
pool.
like a social club.
And you have to wear a suit, like black and tie event.
Nice.
Yeah, and like I said, it is a certain dollar amount in there. You get this many drink tickets with that, and then any drinks you want after are on you. But like this is what we offer. This is in like it's high quality enough that you would want to, like people used to do. You would want to just stay there and be there for the evening, and then be like, yeah, we saw the show.
We just hung out at the supper club.
We closed the supper club down at 2:30, and we went home. Like. Yeah, we played pool. We threw,
Yeah, they had karaoke after the show. It was wild.
But how hard is that? How fucking hard is that to do?
It's not that hard.
It's not. But the people.
You got to get people to go out.
The people are disgusting.
That's true. People are.
And
fucking
no one's,
gross.
dude. Like even.
Well, I mean, look at me. This is how you have seen me dressed like this probably.
But you're a regular guy.
99% of the time you've seen me.
Okay, and look at me. Like I'm wearing the longer version of your clothes that you have on now, and then.
Yeah, dude. I barely dress nicer than this to go to court.
I know. I would, if I could do one thing with you, I'd help dress you just a little bit nicer sometimes.
Dude, I need a suit. That's something I've been realizing.
Shopping with you.
That's something I've been realizing a lot lately. Is 'cause stuff's coming up, and I'll be like, well, I've got nice shirts, but like, really, this is more of a suit thing. Like, I really should have at least a suit jacket.
Yeah.
At least, and I don't, because I just don't give a fuck.
I
wear clothes I like, and if you don't like it, God would not like you judging me for what I'm wearing. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but at the same time, God did speak a lot about being prepared and playing the part properly, and like even back then.
Well, yeah, I try to dress properly. I wear pants to work if I think my legs are gonna get cut up.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of thing.
That's fine and dandy. I'm talking like.
I wear the right shoes. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What good is a suit?
Well, good. I mean,
it's gonna make me hot. It's gonna overheat me faster.
Sometimes you feel
just fucking chilling.
Not if you got the proper fibers. Listen, sometimes a suit makes you feel like a fucking G. Like if you dress nice, you feel nice. It's like you ever put. It's like putting on Axe compared to Versace's fucking.
Could you imagine me wearing a suit? I don't know what kind of a man I'd become.
You would need to put your hair like you would need to have your hair.
That's
nice and tight in a ponytail,
that's my superpower. Is I will adopt the behavior of whatever clothes I'm wearing. So. You put me in a suit, what kind of monster are you going to create? That's the real question.
I adapt to the skin color that's around me.
Well, I mean, I do that too. That's just implied. But
we're going to act like folk
That's just
now.
understood.
We're going to act like folk.
What kind of monster are you going to create if I start wearing suits?
Probably.
Could you imagine? I should start wearing suits on Monday nights. Could you imagine? Could you imagine me hosting on Monday nights in a fucking suit?
I would not host your But I can imagine it. You shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't.
I definitely shouldn't. One time maybe.
No, we're gonna do a suit event.
One time is a bit. Yeah.
No, we'll do a suit event. Like, there's a thing.
When's the next time Halloween lands on a Monday?
Fuck if I know. There's a difference between. I hate. That's my least favorite fucking holiday. Oh. I hate Halloween because I'm not a fucking devil worshipping witch, and I hate dressing up in costumes. I don't like to pretend I'm anything other than I am. And
the Catholic
I'm a failure.
view on it is celebrating it is mocking them.
The what? The Catholic view on it is
so
do the Lutherans.
Mocking the Satanists.
It's mocking the Satanists?
Yeah, it's mocking like the whole because it's not showing reverence to the old holiday. The old holiday, everybody stayed inside and like
that's
hid
just
from it. But that's what the Catholic view is on it is to be like it's
updated.
almost to be like disrespectful.
That's bullshit.
It's some
fucking cardinal made up an opinion just so he could see all the little kids dressed up nice because he's a dirty fucking pervert. Because guess what? In the Lutheran fucking church, they talk about how we are not supposed to enjoy All Hallows Eve because of its pagan fucking roots, right?
Well,
however, majority of the fucking Christian holidays that we celebrate calendorically,
almost all of them,
calendorically are right around the same time that the pagan holidays happened.
Well, yeah, that was done on purpose.
Well, of course,
the Catholic
it's done
Church
on purpose.
owns that.
Well,
because
yeah.
how else is it's way easier to convert people if you just say, "Oh, that's our holiday too."
Like the thing is, like,
but also,
that's
the
why
stars line
Christmas
up. Well, I mean, yeah, no. I think they've said his actual birthday would have been like
September.
in the June. Yeah,
June through September. There was
yeah.
Which what the fuck? And number two,
that changes it all.
You know what I hate? Atheists who still put up a Christmas tree. Or decorate. I hate that shit. Fuck you. You got no right.
I hate it if I hate atheists that are loud enough about it that you know they're atheists.
Oh,
that's
just any atheist. Well, because they still have their it's just funny. Yeah.
It's different. It's the same thing as the
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's same but different. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Yeah. Most people only woke up after COVID, and then quite a few of them still aren't even awake.
No, some people are hitting snooze.
God, where the fuck?
Some people are going to be late for work.
That's all
I have to say about it.
I got like put back in my past in my head the other day, and it was like to an event, and that happened to me in grade school, and now it's just like missing my mind, and I was I hadn't thought about this thought since I was in like third grade when this thing happened, and it was hitting me, and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, is that what, like, and like, I was like, oh, no, like, I can't remember what the significant event was, which is bullshit, but, like, I realized, because as I was sitting there smoking my cigarette, I was like, oh, this, like, literally has, like, I remember, like, it subconsciously shaped me from that point on, and, like, I don't know, I think you like, a lot of kids, like, they just believe, and that's the problem with children is, like, oh, fuck. They do just believe, and like that's where my problem with school is.
I know.
It's because like you spend. Why do people at work fuck each other sometimes more than they fuck their spouses? Well, they're spending more time with each other. They get to see each other on a whole different level. There's all these. So like, work used to be a family thing. Like, think about it. Like, if your dad was a blacksmith. And you were a boy, you were probably going to learn how to fucking blacksmith. Or if your dad was a carpenter or whatever, that's what the fuck you did. I think Joseph was a carpenter. That's why Jesus was a carpenter. And like that, I don't know.
I always like to imagine
Can I get one of those?
that Jesus would have been critiquing the beam shaping on the cross as he's hanging up there. Like,
I bet he
Jesus.
was.
Like whoever planed this was real lazy about it. I tell you what, that must have been. That
would have been funny.
Must have been made on a Friday
as fuck.
That's a funny.
If
that's
like
a funny bit.
He's laying there bleeding. Which, my poor Jesus, how dare those fucking cocksuckers do that to my poor Jesus? But if I
and we don't mean this in a blasphemous way, oh Lord, I promise.
No, God, we don't. Oh,
But it would be funny to think of him being all Saint Stephen about it.
That
like,
would be
being like
me over, dog.
Yeah, whoever planed this cross must have been built on a Friday.
Fuck planed this thing? Who sanded this fucking cocksucker?
It's all out of whack.
What'd you use?
You call this a 90 degree?
What kind of nails did you put in this thing?
You call this a 90-degree angle? More like 88. My goodness. How shameful.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's definitely.
I like to picture that. That's
that
what
is
happened.
definitely what happened. That's it.
Isn't it? That's
That's
a
a
good.
good
We should
one.
cut that out of here.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll leave it in.
We'll
We'll write it. We'll write a sketch.
Fucking bit will kill you.
We'll write a sketch. Should we start writing sketches?
We got to get a camera.
We do need a camera.
I talked to some little guy. Shouldn't say little. He was a regular sized man, and he films. Or he doesn't even film. He photographs elk hunts and stuff. And it's just like, okay, I don't know. Everybody's trying to be an influencer, and I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm just trying to tell you what I think, and if you agree with me, then ride along.
I'm just trying to do comedic things enough to the point where I don't have to have a real job. That's all I want.
Oh, I hate real jobs.
So,
And I don't even have like a real job. You know that. Like my job's kind of fake. Kind of.
I mean,
it's not like I got to go clock in or anything. Like if I really
you do work though. I mean,
I work.
Yeah, that's not easy getting up on them roofs.
It's like
and
the
shit.
same as building decks. You can just be the deck builder. I've thought about building decks, but
yeah, I think I might be end up doing a little construction on the side. Might be working 2 jobs for a while.
we could go do some construction. We could build some shit. We don't build.
Yeah, well, apparently there's some. Yeah, we'll talk about that off air, but
All right.
it's involved. Anyway, how you doing, buddy? You got any more insurance tips for the people out there?
Yeah,
It's been
when a
while
roofer
since I've
comes
done
to your
one.
fucking door and tells you that you got damage on your roof, and you're the homeowner, you're smart enough to know if shit's broken or doesn't look right. Do yourself a big fucking favor. Walk around your own goddamn house before you let some stranger show up with a fucking magnet on his pickup telling you what the fuck to do. You know, when you start an insurance claim, it goes on your record even if they don't fucking pay out for it. The only time that they look at it, and if you have a claim and it's not necessarily a bad thing, is if it's an act of God. But if you just open up a claim and are like, I need this looked at, that, like, the Consumer Report shows that, because they're like, hey, this cocksucker might just try, like, they're not even smart enough to know how to use the fucking product.
Right.
So they're going to try to just money the product, which therefore will create your rates higher and harder to find fucking people who are willing to accept you as an insured.
Insured.
Insured. You're insured.
Yes.
The insurer is
party.
the company.
The insured part.
The insured the
Party.
policy holder.
Yes, the policy holder. I hate insurance.
It's
I
a
don't
really good
understand
idea. I understand it fairly well. I give you a crash course on insurance if you want to. Like,
Well, can you explain to me why I've had no tickets, nothing wrong, nothing happened, and my rates jumped from $30 to $100 a month?
yeah, because the insurance, because of number one's inflation. Number two, insurance companies are not like people that just like, hey, we're going to take your money and we're going to put it in a big bag, and we got this big bag of money that we save.
Oh, I know.
No, they're gambling it. they're you know who, like we've talked before, who owns the insurance companies? The banks. What's another way for the banks to get more money? Insurance companies. What do the banks do with your money? Well, they say they invest it, and then they say that by full faith of the United States government, they're backed. Who the fuck's got faith in the United States government? Not even the Qatarians. Saudi Arabia doesn't. They're trying to get the fucking dinar. The dinar is worth like 5 of our dollars. We are so fucked. The Arabian coins are taking over. We are so fucked.
Well, we need to start building and making things here.
Yeah, and here's the problem is we're not a fucking world power like we think we are. We're overexpanded. No, listen, year 250 comes up next year. July 4th of 2026. We are 250 years old. That is a pivotal point in any society ever in history.
We're an empire. Just go ahead and say it.
Empire, yes,
Yeah.
correct. Of the United States Empire. We're bound to fall. We are bound to fall. We are overextended with our military. Our military is not that strong. They're just everywhere. So it's an illusion.
Yeah, we're just real fast.
Yeah, it's just
just there
it's
right
not even
now.
fast. It's just a fucking illusion.
With overwhelming force.
Not necessarily, Lucas. It's just an illusion in some of these places. Like if the right countries wanted to be like, like, okay, can we take on some insurgents that fucking have AKs that aren't even all the fucking same kind of Kalashnikov, and these fucking guys have never shot, but we just killed their brothers 3 years ago, so they're fired up and they got some rusty ass shit with a gun. Someone's got a Moissan Nagant. They don't even have, they got old Soviet weapons. And they're going to, okay, those, pop, 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 pop. Oh, we sat on the walls. We did it. Night vision. We had our fucking, okay, great. great.
Yeah.
But when okay, what happens to that forward operating base or wherever the fuck, just like the 13 hours thing? Okay, let's say we do got some people there, and there's a handful of them. There's 30 people, and some of them are HVTs, and then an actual fucking oh shit, those are those Russian tanks? Like there's more than there's a few of them. Well, we don't have. Oh my God, we don't have anti-tank material. We don't have munitions for that. Okay. All right, let's try to start slinging mortars over the wall. Then pretty soon you get overran. There's a base down. I mean, like, most of the troops that are stationed, and I this is not the troops' fault. Shouts out to the troops. But, like, do we really need to have a base in Germany anymore? For what? How operational is it? Do we really need a base in Japan anymore? How forward operational is it? And, like, it's one thing to have partnership. It's one thing to have partnership with the country. It's one thing to have partnership with the country, but it's another to just hold the location.
Yeah, to basically occupy it, more or less.
What do we occupy 80 countries?
At least. Well, I mean, as I've said
with
before.
Bases? Excuse me. Sorry. With permanent bases?
Culturally, we run the whole world.
Not culturally. That is so
There's
untrue.
a McDonald's everywhere. I'm talking American culture.
And
has
people want to
everything.
burn that shit down.
Now.
What do you mean? They've always wanted to burn it down. It was never our right to fucking do it.
I didn't say it was our right. I'm just saying that's the situation. America is culturally relevant in every single country, which is insane. But we need to maintain that. We're going to need to adjust our course here.
The only reason we're culturally relevant is because we are the leaders in initiative and of things around the world.
Not no more.
You're right. Not anymore. Why? Because we're overextended and people are fucking lazy. We don't have supper clubs that bitches dress nice to go in, and you got to wear a fucking suit to get into.
Supper clubs, baby.
Let's bring back the supper club. Shouts out to Wisconsin and the good Germans up there. No, for real. That's the last place. That's the last fucking place they're doing it in. I'm telling you, shit's fucked. Shit's so fucked. I saw a post. It was somebody in Japan. And it was like the picture, like you could see, like you're on the train, the mountain's out the window. They have like a fucking Wagyu ribeye in their lap. And they're like, you're going 200 miles past the blah, blah, blah mountain. You bought this before you got on the train. Nobody's playing phone or you can't hear anybody's music playing out loud on their phone speaker. What's the difference between this country and yours? And I was like, oh boy.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that they're wrong. It depends on what we really want to be. Do we want to be great or do we want to be free? Because to be great, there's going to have to be some constraints on people.
Like what kind of constraints? Because certain constraints need to be constrained. Yeah, fat fuck. You're not allowed to get Pepsi so goddamn easy. Why? Because there's less fucking Pepsi. There's less Pepsi. We put sugar in it instead of fucking corn glue. Have the sugar. No, you can only buy 2 a day, you fat pile of shit. I know that you drank 2 liters a day, Danny. You fucking rascal riding around, fat fuck. Your ankles are swollen. You got diabetes. You need to walk. And possibly if you die, sorry, you're a milker of the system. You did something that you could have avoided. If it's avoidable, it should not be. You know how we talked about how people around us died doing stupid shit? And you go, oh, maybe that's a reason or a way to realize, like, I shouldn't be doing such stupid shit. Well, for whatever reason in this country, we created a nanny state for people doing stupid shit.
No, I agree. We need to go back to letting stupid people die.
Let them fucking die.
I should have died a couple times, probably.
Well, probably.
Well, I had a couple close calls for sure.
Yeah, well, a close call is one thing.
Close call is a learning lesson.
A little lesson from the earth, Mother Earth, and the Creator is one thing to learn, but to like, some people don't learn, and those are the people that it's like, why were you out driving doing 80 miles per hour during that 35 mile per hour wind blizzard on a gravel road? What were you kids doing? Oh, one of them severely injured and the other 2 are dead because they got fucking rolled. They rolled their fucking car doing 80 during a blizzard. Hey, I'm sure at one point you were probably sliding around in your car and went, that was close. And it wasn't necessary, and you just had to fucking test it. It's just like I was coming home one night.
I should slow down.
Well, one kid tried to fucking do a U-ey doing 70 on Highway 81. Tried to flip a U-ey. Didn't slow down. Just tried to fucking whip it. And it's like, when I knew that kid, he was in class with me, and then like some other people. But I was like,
man,
of the people who it's like, you never learned, did you? You never fucking learned. It's people go through divorces and all of it. They never fucking learn.
Nope, never learn a goddamn thing.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm not immune to it. Sometimes it's taken me 2 or 3 tries to learn a lesson.
Again, yeah. But
those also weren't like life-ending lessons. I've always said we need to go back to letting stupid people die. As I've said, we need to let that happen.
Well, the healthcare system that's where all the money's made.
Well, look, don't look at me because I personally don't understand why our healthcare system, not entirely, but there should be a section of it that works similarly to the fire department and the police department as far as
some of it
and operational. Some of it, not all of it. It shouldn't be exclusive.
Well, I think we should be like Mexico and be able to go get penicillin for nothing and not have to go to the doctor to be like, damn, I have something wrong with me. Like, that's what's funny about that country is, like in most countries all over the world, people are smart enough to know what their fucking drugs do. So they go and get they know how they're smart enough to have some pharmaceutical knowledge to themselves and to know, like, I need to go get this medicine because I have this problem. And you can go and do that. Except in America, well, I got to go to a doctor to get a prescription for you got to get a prescription because you can't just buy it off the fucking shelf or you're too. That's the shit.
Yeah, even if you know what you need. Well, I don't know. We're too ingrained with things. I definitely don't think I had this issue come up. Now that I've quit that job, I'll talk some way more shit about it.
But fuck the fucking federales.
Yeah, I mean, I called in sick because I was sick. Like, I felt like shit. I'd been throwing up all night. I think I either just ate something that didn't agree with me or I just had one of them days.
What night was this? Monday? Or Tuesday?
This would have been...
Oh,
this would have been like a... No, it would have been like a... No, this was like probably almost a year ago now.
Oh.
Like...
Oh, well.
And I remember it was specifically it was a Thursday that I took off.
All right.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna lay in bed. I get back to work and she goes, well, you need a doctor's note. I said, no, according to the national contract between the union and the post office.
I'm fucking good, thank you.
I'm good. I don't have to do that unless I am out for 3 days. And she goes, well, you have to if I request it. And then so she requested it. And then by the time that the meeting came up, it had been like 3 weeks. And we went to that meeting, and I said, specifically, they were like, she goes, well, why didn't you have a doctor's note for this? And I said, this was 3 weeks ago. I was sick for like 18 hours total. I'm not going to a doctor and spending $300 or $400 just so that you can be satisfied that I was sick. Like, next time I'll just start coming into work sick, and I'll just throw up on the work floor in front of everybody.
Yeah, fuck you.
And, yeah. Well, now she's going off about how I need to turn my uniforms in. Definitely do not.
Those are yours. They let the fucking military kids keep theirs.
No,
she's
it's
a dumb bitch.
In the 7 years that I've worked there, I've never heard one person ever say anything about turning them in. The union's never said anything. The only thing...
She's just
the only thing that
I'm
puss. Yeah, and besides, all my stuff I've already donated to the union closet anyway.
Yeah, and she's probably a liberal.
The union's got a closet that, like, when people first get hired, they don't get that uniform allotment until they've been there for a year.
Which is so stupid because you showed me the price of some of that shit.
Yeah, so they don't get that for a year, so then they don't have a uniform to wear. So, which it makes it awkward when you're walking up to somebody's door and you don't have that uniform on because a strange person dressed like me walking up to your door, it might make you a little nervous.
I'd get nervous.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, the uniform is, like, it's actually important to have it. And so the union has this closet where, like, when people retire or they get new stuff, they'll donate their old stuff there to when somebody new starts. Like,
here you go.
The union does do some good things, but on a national level, they also can suck a fat hog.
Here's what's funny about that. Here's what's funny about, the union. I donate to the union. Here's what's funny about that. You know, maybe your local, you could just donate to, like, your local own fucking people, your own station, and be like, hey.
Oh, I asked her first.
Because that makes 1,000% more more sense than being like, oh, this coat's gonna go to somebody in Rugby, California. Great.
No. It's only people that get hired out of Omaha. Like,
but still, that's so stupid that you got to have a fucking mediation factor. You don't need.
No, we don't need the mediation factor at all. You don't have to do it. I offered some stuff to the lady that works there that's taking my spot. But
yeah.
I'm so much bigger than everybody else, like height wise, that like none of my pants fit anybody else. None of my shorts
Lucas
fit anybody
is
else.
an extra
like,
small and an extra tall.
Yeah, right. Don't fucking knock. I got a 36-inch waist, baby.
They're big hips.
I got some.
You're hiding them well.
I do well, man. I got great hips. I got shorts that show off my ass.
I'll tell you, my problem is I got to get 38 waists. I'm a 32 waist, but I got to get 38 waists for these quads, daddy. I don't.
Fat thighs.
I blow out a pair of pants. If I wore a pair of pants like 3 times a week, for like 3 months, ripping the crotch. I
think any pair of pants probably wears.
No, my
out
pants
like
rip. I'm a pants ripping motherfucker. There's like
I've worn them out after wearing. Oh, dude, a pair of Levi 501s. That's where I fucking.
I'm a
live,
505 guy.
I like the 501s.
Well, because you got those long, tall. Well,
the button flies.
They just don't fit right. I gotta get those 505s, and they don't give me zippers.
Yeah, well, I think
my quads.
The 501s, I think, are the only ones you can get with the button flies anymore.
They
they
don't fit right. They squeeze my wiener.
Yeah, they've got a strange fit until they're broke. Now that mine are broken in, I got them for Christmas and they're finally broken in now. Now they fit good, but
start deadlift and get those quads up. They won't fit so well.
I know, dude. I need to get back to having tree trunks. This new job is gonna wear me out a little bit physically. I'm gonna have to adapt to it. I'll adapt to it. I will be fine, but it will be way different. It'll be far different. My shoulder, I can feel it because it's all shoulders lifting, and all my mail for the past 7 years, I've just been focused on lifting legs. So like now I have to switch over to shoulders.
Yeah, but you can use your legs to lift with your shoulders if that makes sense. You're supposed to anyway.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about all day of throwing rugs.
You need to. Let's get on some kettlebells. I got. Well, you know what?
I got creatine in the unpasteurized bag. Do you know that? I got a little.
You started carrying creatine. I got creatine out the fucking ass, bub. So if you need some,
it's in the it's in the gray backpack.
Oh, well, good. I got a tub of Crete. If you need some Crete, we'll get Creted.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been doing protein shakes just to make sure I up my calorie intake.
That's fair.
So I get a bit thicker.
I won't be mean to you about that. I think you should just buy steak. You know Rich Piana?
Well, you can drink a protein shake with steak, dude. Like,
yeah, you can. I don't know.
What I have to eat a shitload of calories to put on significant weight.
Well,
that's why I do it. I mean,
they base our calories on 2,000 calories a day, but like back in the 40s, apparently they base people's like on a 3,500 calorie a day, 3,500, which for you with how much you move and shit. I bet you with how much you move and if you started working out, I would say you probably need 3,800 to 4,200 calories a day. And if you want to gain weight, I would tell you right away, you're probably needing to push 4,500 to 5,000 calories a day for you to like gain. If you were trying to get like, I'm trying to get swole, not jacked, not cut, not like in shape. I'm talking like if you were like, I'm trying to fucking, I want fucking 18-inch arms. You would need to eat so much. You're long.
Dude, you're telling me because fucking 24 inches of bicep is hard to grow when it's 24 inches long.
I used to have 21-inch fucking arms, but that's when I was taking some shit. So
well, yeah, I might. I've considered that, but
don't do that. It's so stupid.
No, I'm not gonna. But the whole lifting thing, when I go through, because I need to come up on one again, and I think once I physically get used to this job, so probably June or August, I'm gonna start like lifting hard again.
Don't lift. Don't
not
bodybuild.
Hard.
Don't bodybuild.
Well, I mean, to put on weight, to
calisthenics.
Put on muscle.
I'm trying to do more calisthenic work.
Well, you got to do calisthenics too. See, I do a balance. I was doing WWE workouts. I was gonna go be a wrestler. That's the kind of bodybuilding I do.
Dude, WWE.
So where you get bigger but you still stay athletic. So that's where I try.
I do like kettlebells. I do those like sandball. I do like those sandballs and shit. I throw a lot. Hit the bag. I do a lot of fucking wrestling.
I throw a lot of kicks at the heavy bag.
Throw a lot of kicks.
That heavy bag they got at the Anytime Fitness. I lift that fucker up off the ground.
Oh, they got a ground one now too. And I started to do it. Like people get weird because like I'll fucking be doing like I'll dig my neck into it and do like flips over it like to work like like wrestling practice. Yeah. And like people will just like stare at me and then but it's like fuck you, like if I gotta
I'm
get in
getting
a
a workout
fight,
in, you fucker.
well, yeah, what if I gotta, yeah, like, I'll be able to do a fucking bridge off of the top of my head in the goddamn street. Fuck you. I work on that for a reason. I'm so scared. We voice our opinions, and there's weird people around it. And you know what? My gun's sometimes too far away.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
Should we talk about our white privilege we got? We haven't talked about that either.
How we got
white privilege
downtown, and the cops definitely noticed.
Cops definitely noticed and then asked what we were doing. And we were like, just looking for a bar that's still open.
Oh, how sweet. And he gave us directions.
And he gave us directions to bars that were still open. And as I walked away, I was like, yeah, that would not have happened if we were black. There's no chance.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. He seemed like a good guy. We were white men. We were definitely white that night. We were feeling white, feeling all right.
Yeah, we were
some
great whites that night.
Yeah, I was in a construction shirt and you're in your tie-dye shirt. We looked like guys who are like day traders of like
we look like we have tomorrow off. We look like we had tomorrow off.
We definitely look like we were in Jordans and we were just
we were in Jordans strolling around
high on confidence,
just living life. And then the police rolled up and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
They definitely watched me take a piss.
He definitely watched you take a piss.
I thought I was clear. I thought I was Luke.
I didn't see him. I didn't see those cars, but they were down the street, so
a little bit, but now that I know where they sit, that corner that I went into, they definitely had direct vision.
Yeah, they were dealing with other shit though. They were dealing with actual problems.
You heard those gunshots? Yeah, you heard. There was like pop, 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 pop. You heard? We remember that?
Yeah, was that before or after?
That was before we went down to that other bar.
You asked him. You asked him.
I'm definitely gonna ask the cops if what's up with the gunshots, guys.
Yeah, what's up with all those shots that were coming from not North Omaha?
You ever ask a cop if he wants to see your gun? Like,
I never. When I'm down there and I hear gunshots coming from the north, I never question it at all. But whenever they come from the south, that really bothers me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if I think that, the magnetic poles of the North Pole are going to pull the bullets away from me, or what the hell the deal is.
Oh, you'll know when bullets are whizzing around you.
Oh no, I've never had that problem. I have heard tale.
One time. I've had it twice.
I've heard tale of it, and I've heard of it. Like it. That kind of thing will create a grudge forever.
Getting shot at.
Yeah.
Or bullets just
whizzing by you.
Whizzing by you.
And they should have known you were there.
Oh, that's happened to me at work one time. We were cutting trees and like running our equipment and shit, and like we were on and like they knew, like they definitely knew they shouldn't have been shooting. Like if they fucking paid attention to anything, they definitely, and like you could
oh
and I was like,
oh no.
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, and like we were just like sitting. We're all like behind the skid. Behind the skid loader, because we were cutting all the fucking trees, and like and like you could hear it like the way I don't know how to describe it. Like
it's a crack, and then
it's like a over your head.
I've had them come near me before, but it was like once, and
it's disgusting. It is
horrifying.
I will. I was comfortable and calm because I knew that, like, I was like, okay, like some of these are like ricocheting through the trees and shit. Like we're like the odds are slim, but
they're still there.
Even though they're 10 feet over our head, because like I said, they're cracking through the trees and they were ripping up. But like you could,
the gap in between the sounds is the scariest part too. In between the
that is terrible. So
I hate people that like will intersecting lines of fire when you're like just shooting at like targets.
Cross lines?
Yes.
Crossfire or like
they're standing behind everybody else.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that. Like
if you're
I don't like it. Like say we're out in the woods and we're shooting this way, somebody goes off that direction and shoots behind us facing the other way. I don't like that at all.
Well, yeah, that's why you got to teach your children tactical columns and things.
These are adults, and I'm not. It's my position. It's
stupidity.
I fuck around with a lot of stuff, but I don't guns. I don't fuck around with one bit.
Stupidity. You know what?
I take guns very seriously.
Well, take the gun away from him. You didn't take him seriously enough to walk over and take it from him, and so I get you. It
didn't seem like my place to do that. Like
anytime somebody's fucking off with a gun,
it immediately made me want to put it away and be like, I don't know. I made it very clear that I was like uncomfortable with the entire situation.
Hey, well, yeah. I
mean, then everybody else slowly stopped shooting because like that's fucking crazy. But
again, this is why I think you should have your children in shooting sports. I think that.
Oh, I'm very intent on these children learning how guns work.
This is gonna sound chaotic and crazy, but there's guns very easily accessible throughout a lot of my house. And like when people like, that's what kills me about these ads. People were like, what if you're, and it's just like they do like and everybody's trying to come up with the case or the lock that comes off immediately if you got to get a shootout, which is they haven't made one yet. Like, it's not true. You can't do that.
Well, it's always going to be an extra step. That's what it's going to, I mean, that's always just,
I don't know. It's
the only thing that
it's that hard to teach, like, because but granted, I grew up in a gun house. My kids grew up in a gun are in a gun house, and like, I've never like even at like 2 years old though, like I would never, like my kid would never be like waving it, like they're smart, but it's just like they know also to not touch the fucking stove, like.
Yeah, no, you just have to teach them the same way you teach them not to touch the stove. My daughter knows, kind of. She's 9, and she shot a handgun before, not completely by herself, but like standing there, assisted.
Yeah.
You know, where she's the one that's pulled the trigger, and it's kind of been me or my dad holding it, just because she should know, like, and she gets it, like, she's very serious about, like, oh, I don't, like. That's one thing. Absolutely not. Do not mess with. Period. Like.
Oh, that's with daughters. I always try to teach my like I teach my daughters how to like throw hands, hit the paddles. You know, like no, lay your elbows into me. No, you like learn how to roll, like teaching them little just different things. You know, wrestlings and jujitsus and submissions. But like I tell my daughters all the time, if two men are ever fighting, or if anybody ever like. I was like, it is not, like, especially if it's a man, like, especially, I was like, even if you are like, look at this little string being, like, it is, even if he's 135 pounds and 5'4", and you're like, I don't know, I got a pretty good fucking kick, like, I got a good heel kick, I could, and like, even if it's just like, I tell them, like, you do not, you leave I don't care how good of a fighter you think you are, and like even if you are really good, like there's no reason for you as a lady to be involved in that, and like
no, you shouldn't be breaking up. That's how you get fucking hurt, is trying to break up fights.
Then again, here's the problem. Now we have such a weak society of masculine, or like no masculinity of men, and then I watch fucking videos of some brother just fucking slapping the shit out of 4 bitches at fucking Disneyland in front of their kid, in front of probably, I'm assuming his 3 baby mamas with 3 different children is the way the situation looked, but that could be stereotyping. But not the point. The point is just all the fucking loser onlookers, and it's just like, I watched it and I was like, okay, he's not ready. Clean his fucking clock. He's not ready there. Clean his fucking clock. Because, like, he you know, dancing around. And I was like, this guy he's just, and, like, you know how black women get. They were a little emotional, and they were riled. And it's just like, okay, don't, like, no one's there to stop this. You guys are getting, like, slapped around by this guy. Like, it was just a pathetic fucking thing to watch. And to be like, this is at Disneyland. And then the fat fuck, when the fucking security team finally gets there, it's some fucking 58-year-old fat piece of shit wearing his stupid fucking lime green fucking high-vis shirt with the fucking Mickey Mouse on it. And then who does he start yelling at? He starts yelling at the black women. Oh, get back. No. Don't assess the fucking 6'4" black man who's being the threat. Don't even fucking handle that. Yell at the women to calm down that have just been getting the shit smacked out of them.
Yeah, we're gonna deal with the easier one. Yeah, we're gonna deal with the easier one first.
Jesus fucking Christ! And like, I just watched that video and I was like, clean his clock right there. He's not ready. But boom, there it like.
Yeah.
There it is. Like, chance after chance, and like, no, not a fucking. And this is like I said, this was like a 12-minute video. So like every 3 minutes for like a minute, he'd just be beating the fuck out of another bit, and like look like a granny, like one looked like a fucking granny, you know, and then like, I mean, throwing these poor bitches around. And I'm not saying that they were acting proper, and maybe they did deserve it in this guy's life, possibly, because women fuck up a lot. That's not the point. This is at This is at Disney
Disney.
fucking land, and then the amount of people and like, but again, we live in this world, especially in California. If you what if you go fucking sock him, lay him out, and he like,
you're gonna be the one in trouble.
Oh yeah,
even though you're the hero.
Even though you fucking saved 4 women from getting beat, you're an asshole.
Well, it's the same problem.
Because you hit a black guy.
That's the same problem with a lot of federal.
I would want a black guy to hit a white guy if he was hitting bitches at fucking Disneyland. And you know what? He should get an award. Like that's that's the type of thing. Like that person should be like,
he should get a free Disney pass for life.
Fucking Disneyland should be like, brother, you're allowed in
They
here
should be
any
happy.
fucking chance. Keep this fucking park safe. Make sure women don't get hit and kids don't see women getting hit at fucking Disneyland.
Yeah, because you'd think domestic violence would be bad for Disney's image.
How many princes had to go? Don't the princes in these movies go and fuck up other dudes on behalf of the princess? Like, can't we? What the fuck kind of propagation?
Well, I mean, one of them fucking goes off and slays her stepmother. So,
which one was that? Who slayed their stepmom?
I think that's Sleeping Beauty, right?
I don't know, brother.
Wasn't.
I haven't read all the books.
I don't know.
I know. There's always some problems. Is essentially there's always a problem and a solution. I don't know, which is funny because even in princess books, you know, the solution always ends up being
Violence.
Strong male. No, yeah, that too. It's just funny because even in like the ultimate female dream, the solution is still a strong male who guides you and helps you.
Yeah, right.
Fucking dumbass bitches.
I don't know. I don't get women.
I don't get women either. That like
they don't make any sense.
Some of them do, and I get it. Like they're so like a woman will kill her kids like out of just like a quick emotion. Like they're just like
it would take a lot. It would take a lot for me to get to that point.
Well, guess who kills their kids more than men do? Women. I mean, like when they look at like who kills like their own children and stuff more, it's definitely women. Who initiates divorces? Well, it's women. It's all emotional. And like, guess what? Emotions are easy to play with. That's why I don't think women should lead. But there's more science behind that, and I would need a psychiatrist to back me up with my studies, so I don't have my sources.
Do you think global meetings would be like, did you see that bitch from Germany? She was wearing the same shoes.
It is like that. That's literally what we have. We have AOC in the office. That's literally what politics is for the Democrats. And that's why you got, which we know a lot of what I would call libertarian or conservative gays even.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're definitely more libertarian or conservative than they are like. They're the.
Well, I find if you talk to most people, they're not really red or blue. They're more purple.
Everybody's mostly purple.
Yeah, it's just they get bound up on the extremes.
I'm just saying it's different than some guy who's like, yes, queen, slay. And he's like, I would love to have an ovary so I get an abortion. That guy is not the same as some of the fellas that even we know.
No, I would even tolerate the most annoying one I've ever been around.
He's a hoot, huh?
I'm
taking. You got another pack?
Yeah,
right.
I do.
You need another soda?
He is. I would take one. How much longer do we need? How quick do we need to get out?
We got about 25 minutes. I have a real show
tonight, so
I have a real show here.
I'm
Jesus
just moving
Christ.
stuff. So at Jefferson Beer Supply.
Beer Supply. No one's gonna make it because this is gonna be out after that. If you weren't there, you're a square. Ethan Aberson, Ben Weber. Shouts out to Siouxland Comedy. Shouts out to Siouxland Comedy. Honestly, they put some good people on. They put me and Lucas on, and had a good time. Sioux City's a good place.
That was a great crowd. They had loved what we had to say.
Good crowd. Whiskey Dicks. Shouts out to Marty's Tap. Sioux City's a very underslept. It's an underslept location. It's still punk rock. It's still punk rock. It's still blue collar. It's a blue collar. Like there's enough people that you're like, I'm in a city.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to Dubliner that I've experienced outside of the Dubliner. I guess.
You mean good people hanging out and having a fun fucking time?
Yeah, I mean just a fun mics, good shows.
Those guys have been doing so good. They give to charity. like they run charity events multiple times a year. You know, like Logan, that one guy, he's a vet. I mean, they give to the vets, they give to orphans. Like they actually really give a fuck.
I would do any of that.
Which
they're great people.
Which I'm sure.
I'm too lazy to put that kind of thing on by myself, but it's a good move.
It's growing. It's all growing.
It's all growing. Anyway.
Well, you know, we know people that tried to do charity and then ended up paying for tattoos.
Yeah, that is a miserable human being behavior.
Let stupid people die. Let stupid people die.
Let stupid people die.
Diet and exercise would maybe help.
Here's what I don't understand. As I've been looking a lot more, there is a sign at just about every place as you drive down the, 180 miles to Omaha.
For you, yeah.
I mean, there's a sign at almost every place. Now hiring, now hiring, now hiring, everywhere. And yet you come across a lot of people that
don't have
are
jobs.
living but don't have jobs. And I just don't understand what they do with their days.
Nanny state. Okay, I think we have a lot of parents. I think, hear me out.
There's a lot of parents supporting. I mean, my parents have just supported me for the last 6 months, but that was so I could save money to move. So that was for a purpose with an end goal. So that's my excuse why I don't feel bad about that.
I knew that the world was not the same for me as it is for other people, like immediately. But it really hit me. I was going to the gym, and like I was going to college, right? And like my dad fronted me like $5,000 to go to school. But I still work. I worked fucking nights at a packing plant, and then still went to school. Still was just doing other illicits and trying to make money in any way I could. And I was at the gym and I was talking to this girl, and she was going to be a doctor. And she's like, "Well, my parents pay my rent, my car payment, school's everything." And I was like, "Well, that'd be super duper easy for me to go be a doctor if that was the case."
Right.
And then you hear that?
Yeah, I'm hearing the ticking, but
I don't know where it's coming from. But
I don't know. There it goes. Weird.
But no, that, and then my uncle builds houses. He builds about 10 houses a year.
Yeah.
Really, like, nice.
Oh, good God.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Anyway, there it goes.
But he'll tell. He told me, he's like, because he's building houses for like people like our age, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, it ain't their names on the check.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
There's a lot of people. The generations before us could be very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like regular successful.
Yeah, it's hard for people in our generation to be successful. My little brother and sister are doing it. My little sister, she went on to be a teacher, paid off all her student loans, like worked like 2 or 3 jobs. She's taken trips to Spain. She like walked across Spain.
Fucking
on like a mission journey. Like she's a religion teacher at an Indian school. So like
Team Tikka Masala all day long.
She's not that, not that one. The feather, not the 8 dot, but
Hey, you know what? Leave them indigenous folks alone.
No, I'm not making fun of them. I like them. I appreciate
love natives.
Them. And then my little brother is like a safety supervisor at like a rubber plant at Continental.
Hell yeah. Germans.
I mean,
good German company.
Look, I'm the fuck up now. Like
you kind of are the fuck up.
I'm telling you, I'm like, yeah. I got lots of big ideas. In case you haven't heard them.
Oh, dude.
I've got big ideas.
Dude.
I need the money for them.
Oh, dude. I fucking hear you clucking big chicken.
But yeah, I'm getting there. I think moving to Omaha will help change a lot of that. Parents have helped me out a lot, but I'm moving with like no debt, which is crazy cool.
I got
debt and a little bit of cash.
Yeah.
So like technically speaking, since I have no debt, I'm better off than like 98% of Americans.
Well, a lot of people are broke. Even people that make like $400,000.
I mean, that debt's gonna come. I mean, because the woman, kids, gonna have to get a house soon. I mean, soonish. We can tolerate the apartment for a little while, but that's 4 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
It's gonna be tight for a little bit.
It's gonna be tight with 1 bathroom.
I don't know, man. The renting market's fucked. The housing market's fucked. I know that there's kind of a crash coming. I really hope that the Trump presidential administration actually does something for the people here. That'd be the main thing. And again, we really got to look out for here's the problem. Like,
we got to look out for the kids.
If you want, you got to look out for the future generations. But again, at the same time, I know people in their 40s that have multiple roommates. So what do you want out of your life, I guess, is one thing. And I don't know, dude.
Look, I mean, I can understand it if you're living in a nice... I mean, I could... If I was a single guy, no kids, no wife, nothing like that, I could understand splitting a house with, like, another dude.
Yeah, but here's the problem is these people are bums, and that guy's like, I only work 3 days a week. I only got... And it's like, okay, that's fair.
So he doesn't have to be. Like, that's different.
It's
if
different.
If you're all working, like, 5-6 days a week, and you're all stacking paper, and the bills are paid, and you're living in a decent place, and you're all getting to save money, then I can understand that. But if you're all living together as bums, then that's like everybody's gonna fall. Like it's not gonna be good for anybody.
That's America.
What'd you do today? I called in sick and played Sea of Thieves all day. Oh fuck, that sounds dope. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
You bet.
That's all it takes.
That's what's happening.
I had bums for roommates, and that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, I just slowly started to slip into fucking drinking all day, going to work and being fucking hammered. How I was mowing straight lines on the fucking baseball fields, I don't know. But dude, I was doing some of the crispest mowing, and I was crossfaded all day for months. And
that brings me to my point.
And I was the only one employed in the whole goddamn house.
That brings me to my point. Yeah, exactly. Is we have grown men cutting grass. We have a whole.
Well, I was 20 or 21,
and that's fine.
So.
Mowing the ball field is one thing. Mowing a golf course is one thing. Like that's one thing. I will say this though. I'm absolutely sick of fucking mowing companies, because I was like talking to my 9-year-old. She's like, "Well, how did you make money?" I was like, "Well, when I was 9, I was like." Well, I would make like $80 a week because I could go mow these old ladies' lawns in my neighborhood. And like, as I'm telling her this, the 40-year-old with his dad's construction business, it comes out with the, because he's probably mid 30s to 40, comes out and he starts mowing on the lawn. And I was like, and that is why kids don't get paid cash jobs anymore, is because literal adults are second or third generation money and are taking over what used to be work for children.
Here's why
now they're making, like scooping snow. Scooping snow, dude. That used to be a job for 12-year-olds.
I know you shout out the Golden Arches in my town, saying that they're high quality. Here's why they're high quality. Is because they'll hire 14, 15-year-olds.
Because they'll teach a fucking kid how to do it from the good, the good way.
See, I firmly believe, and it's one of the reasons I might start going back to Amigos, is because fast food does not taste right when it's made by grumpy people in their 40s and 50s that are like grumpy and pissed off and upset at life.
No, the best Taco Bell comes from the guy who's ripped and stoned.
It comes from that. It comes from that teenager that is like, begrudgingly being there. Like,
you know about that study?
Which study?
Where they fed the rabbits high cholesterol food, and the one guy who was feeding the rabbits and like being like putting it even though it was shit food, like the scientist was like really nice to the rabbits.
Yeah.
And like the other scientist was like, "Fuck here, rabbit!" Like,
yeah.
And the one guy who would like stay and pet the rabbits and stuff and made it was like just really into hanging out with the rabbits, even though those rabbits were eating the same like terrible diet and same shit food, they weren't having the same effects of cholesterol and the same negative effect of the food, because the food was given to them with love. And then they learned that this guy he's not yeah. So like they would start producing serotonin when they were getting fed, and when they were so they were happy rabbits even on shit food. And that's why they say that even the poorest lady, even compared to if the richest lady and the poorest lady both cooked at home, if the poor woman is happy enough to put more love into the food and care, say she just cares about her family just a little bit more, right? She doesn't have as much money to give, but she's got a way bigger heart, and she's a more snuggly parent, and she is a more she does cut the crust off the Wonder Bread type of deal, right? That food has even even if it's not necessarily the healthiest food, there's literally more nourishment. Like, and that's like when you do go to a good restaurant with like a cook who actually gives a fuck, you're like, man, this shit fucking kicks. Or like, yeah, you go to a good McDonald's, it's because it's like, yeah, that's what they got. Like, that's why that place rocks. Is because it is fucking. It's not 20-somethings that are like, oh my god. No, it's it's a literal teenager. It's a 15-year-old that drove there on his school permit because he's allowed to drive to work.
Yeah.
And like so he's just happy to be there. And hit his vape when he walks out with your chicken nuggets to spot 3, dude.
Yeah, and welcome right back around to supper clubs.
We're right back to it,
right
dude.
Back to supper clubs. I think that's the name of the episode. Do we need to wrap it up? You
Supper
probably need
clubs.
to get going.
I need to shit and shower. I might even try to slap on a shave. I got to look good for the good people of Jefferson, South Dakota. We touched a lot of things here.
We did.
Good
Mainly
episode.
supper clubs.
Well, it's a good idea. It really is.
We
Like,
need to bring back supper.
I've always wanted.
You want to try and get some investors? We could try to build a supper. You want to build a supper club?
I've thought about it. What I've always wanted is like kind of like a half venue, half bed and breakfast, half whiskey refinery, half dispensary sort of thing.
Okay.
Like,
oh, so like in everything, like a mall. You want a mall?
No. I want like a cabin wood building, and I want like a nice, beautiful pond out back there, and I want people to be like able to sit up on the deck and drink their fancy wine or their fancy liquor because they just got married and they're at the venue, and like there's weed and steaks, and no, we don't put flower pots on there. We put flowers in bongs, and then you're just allowed to light up and smoke cigars and smoke cigarettes, and then look at the buffalo.
Terrific idea I've had.
What?
We should buy an old mall.
Okay.
Turn the food court and just turn it. It's a club. The whole thing is one club.
That'd be greasy.
You would
need
security. Different. I mean, yeah, of course, but like, you turn the stores into like, okay, this place, there's a fucking jazz band playing in there. This place in here, there's poetry going on tonight. Like,
yeah,
yeah. You couldn't get too big of a mall, but
there's places.
A reasonable sized mall.
I don't know, dude. I've seen people get married in strip malls.
I would never. I'm trashy, but I'm not that trashy.
I
got friends with fields. I'd get married in a field. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think I'm going to get married at midnight by candlelight at the church, and then the party's just going to be in a tent down by the river.
Yeah, what I've been thinking.
And then I'll say, then there's going to be two different. There's this one. One's just going to be sweet tea, and one's going to be sweet tea with possible side effects.
All right. Yeah. Well, I've already decided, and I've told the woman this, is that if we get married for that reception, I'm going to tell all the old sensitive people I can hold everybody in until 10:30. But then you got to get out of here, or I don't want to hear boo about what you see happening.
I get that.
Because my friends are probably going to get crazy.
Well, I would expect that.
And I would hope and want that. But also, like, I don't want to deal with the family members being like, oh, they were getting crazy. So I just want to warn them ahead of time. Which, be like, it's going to be fucking
I don't think
wild.
It's fair, because when I was a kid, weddings used to just pop immediately. Like, even though people that were like, I would watch people get like put, if they didn't go on the trolley, they'd put 2 or 3 beers in the because they were at a wedding. Someone would bring a cooler, and like
a lot of drinking out in the parking lot,
just at the church before they even go to the fucking dinner.
Yeah,
and because but like, here's the thing about weddings is there's so much planning now. Oh, we gotta like all this shit to it.
You don't need all that.
And so you gotta.
I'm gonna get married on a Friday so we can party till Sunday.
That's ridiculous. That's gonna be terrible.
No, that's gonna be great.
It's a good idea. I don't know. Like I said, the best weddings I've ever been to: a cattle tank full of ice and beer, and then like you get your Windsor, you get like you get your what do they call that? You get your wells of everything. You get your Windsor. Maybe you don't get Svedka, but you got Skull. You got handles of Skull. We got handles of Windsor. Not turkey, Jim Beam. So you would go like Jim Beam for your like Jack or your turkey crowd. Yeah, and then just be like,
oh, I'm aware.
Yeah,
I've thought a lot about the party part of this.
Yeah, that's.
I've even said it many times. We get married, I don't care. We'll do the ceremony, however, but the party is mine.
Well, and everybody
the
better
party
just know.
And the get down is mine.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And I can keep people polite until probably like 9:30, 10, and then
I start
you
getting
know how
tired
that you know
of
how the
that
more I
buddy.
think about it, that time keeps coming up. But
It's gonna have to come up. It's just
but I will keep it polite as polite as I can for the
I
children. I won't.
You better not let your kid be eating brownies off the table because your kid's gonna get fucked up. You
Yeah,
better
dude.
be careful at my wedding.
I got a wedding. We gotta cut this so I can tell you one of my favorite wedding stories ever. All right, this has been unpasteurized.
Unpasteurized. Drink your milk, people.
Drink your milk.
Drink your unpasteurized milk.
Yeah, make sure you follow Smiley Comedy and Z Schlong.
Z-double-E Schlong.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been Lucas Schneider, Taylor Zaki,
From the
unpasteurized
barn garage.
from the Carriage House.
The carriage. What's a carriage? All right, we're with the.